the best thing that can happen to you is to marry a good wife. Oh, and you don't want to use your life as an experiment because you will not like it. Let me talk to brothers. You see, if you look at container can be deceptive. You know, does not boil rice. You know, when she's singing like this, and you sense the presence, that thing does not lead to submitting to husband. It's not an automatic translation. It's when you have stayed with her in the same house, you will now know that there's difference between 6 and half a dozen. You will know. If you marry a wife who has not had the experience with you in God, and you've told her God said, and she saw God do what he said, there are many things that God will call you to do. She will help you to remove you from destiny. Yes. Where I served, the same place I served that I encountered God, the first story they told us when we got there was about a young man, fervent, a missionary that loved God. He was serving on the field, and then he fell in love with the wrong lady. Beautiful. She came for youth service too, because they were recruiting coppers. Are you hearing me, sir? She came for youth service. He saw her and he said, wow, heaven must have missed an angel. In the day God created you, it was Sabbath day. And the man of God that we were working with at that time looked at him and said, this sister is not for you. He said he was in love. I have found my missing rib. He was in love. They got married and he took her to the field. The first day she got to the field and she saw the water we drink there is brown. Frogs are jumping inside. She saw the water and she told him, this call that God called you, I was not there. She packed her bags, came back to the Niger Delta. I don't want to call this state because this message will go far. Came back to the Niger Delta. The brother said, I will serve Jesus. The man of God called him gently and said, you are married now. Go after your wife. They told us that day that he sat down. He wept inconsolably. He knew that missions was his destiny. But marriage uprooted him. I met him again 10 years later. Coincidentally in my city. I saw him. I said, it is you. They told us your story. He bent his head. Now he's in town mobilizing other people to missions. His own destiny aborted. So don't joke with marriage. Don't joke with marriage. Somebody can watch their prayer life die and never cry. Watch their love for God die and never go on a retreat. Watch their love for scriptures die and never be provoked. And you will see them saying things to you like, my problem is masturbation. Masturbation. I smoked St. Maurice as if St. Maurice was about to go out of fashion. It got to a point that I was smoking 2 packets a day. 2 packets a day. That I wake up in the middle of the night at 12 a.m. with a craving for nicotine. And I'll go and be looking for who to buy. Which craving drives your existence? Which craving? What is it that you want really? Who are you really living for? What do you really want? In this, your union with God, what is it supposed to amount to? What is the big picture really? Okay, you get married, you have 62 children, you live in Lekki, and then you die? What kind of life is that? Any man who truly met God, the first thing on his heart is, how do I satisfy a need on the man who brought me out of Egypt? A need on his heart, how do I satisfy it? So a light will shine on Damascus Road, and the thing Paul is asking is, what will you have me do? You that said you met eternal life, your fufu used to give somebody headache. Only beans, you smell beans and you are finished. People have all kinds of weakness, your own is beans. And we are thinking thinking that we can just stumble and just accidentally find ourselves as supernatural people. It doesn't work like that. How can you be the only Christian in your family and you are not bothered that God has not found enough reason to express himself through your life to everybody in your family? You have brothers in church that all they do is hug sisters from morning till night. Then when they finish hugging, they will come and be troubling you at 12 a.m. with a WhatsApp message. I've masturbated again. You didn't know you had a struggle? Your father named you Adam. You turned your name to Hoginus. And now you have a problem. You are looking for a preacher to help you. I know you may say, preacher, I'm helpless. That's why he said, take my hand. Take my hand. I reached out from the gutter. I said, Lord, if you do your part, I will do mine. Just pull me, pull me, pull me. If you pull me, I will take a step. And every day, if I take a step and I fumble, I will remember that you are holding me in your everlasting arms. Pull me. Just pull me. So when we talk the way we talk, we are not talking because we've been helped by our own flesh. He brought me to his mountain. He brought me to his mountain. And he showed me that it was possible to live in such a way that even the thought of immorality does not exist in my vessel. Oh, you don't know me, dear sister. I watched porn from the age of 10. From 10 years old. 10. I struggled for almost 15, 20 years. Struggled with porn. You'll be speaking in tongues and you'll be seeing breasts of sister, seeing naked pictures, and you are praying in tongues. You don't know where I'm coming from. For me to have a mind that is so clean and so clear, I know there is someone that pulled me. Someone that pulled me. Woe to him whose trust is in the arm of flesh. I came for people who are not ashamed to cry. They called people who had aborted. I saw these sisters and my heart broke because his mama was talking about sister. You dear brother, you were among those that drove a young girl to kill a child, and nothing struck your own heart. I become a generation that thinks that we are just going to stumble into reality. You can love Apostle as much as you want. If you don't hear his sacrifices, you will never know what it means. Think God will just pour out his spirit so that his graces will be wasted. If God has called you to the mission field and you are sitting in a Chevron office, your life is wasting. But can God send you like this? You don't know you are the one delaying your own manifestation. He wants to partner with you. He wants to draw you. And then when he draws you, he will now begin to work on your heart, teaching you how to think, teaching you what to love, teaching you how to travel, teaching you what to let aside. I've never met a man that met God that did not have to sacrifice something. If your Christianity is not costing you anything, it is fake.